peak performance aging. You defined it a little bit for us, and we can take a guess, but at its surface, a lot of what we talked about is cognitive or mental. How much of this is physical and how much of it can be sustained or grown as we age?
A lot of it is physical. There's a wild fact. The single most important, I'll just give you a guess. Let's play a guessing
Okay,
game.
let's do it.
The single most important correlate for peak performance aging, for holding on to mental and physical function into our later years.
Genetics.
Leg strength. I know, it's wild. And nobody's 100% certain why. We know, like, the data is really overwhelming. They think, and this is very also true for cognitive function, and they think it's two reasons. There's probably more, and one of these reasons could be wrong, but this is the thinking. One, we talked about the importance of social activity. So if your legs go, right, you lose mobility, social activity plummets. And social activity is one of the best ways to maintain healthy cognitive function. So that's part of it. Second part of it is cooler and more interesting and gives older people something, one place to start on the physical side. And I'll speak more about this. So bone density decreases over time. And what most people don't know, because this is sort of the cutting edge of physiology at this point, our bones turn out to be the nutrient and mineral storage factory for the entire body. And they store a lot of the stuff the brain runs on. Your brain runs on calcium, for example. Where do you think it comes from? And the bones, when bones break down, right, they can build up and they break down. What gets broken down is one of the things that can pass through the blood-brain barrier. So a lot of the things that we see as cognitive decline may be linked to bone density and bone health. And it turns out there's a lot we can do for that. At the low end, we recommend hiking with a weight vest. Doesn't give you huge improvements, but it allows you to train all aspects of functional fitness, save flexibility. You should stretch before and after, but it gives you almost everything else, and it improves bone density. So that was one of the ways I trained for skiing. And if you've been away from physical activity for a long time, I always say start with a movement professional. Somebody who can watch you walk and figure out where old injuries are impacting your gait and what needs to get fixed before you dive into heavy physical activity. The problem is we have two muscle categories. We've got prime movers, your big muscles, and stabilizers, your rotator cuffs and your hip flexors. Over time, the body wants to be energy efficient, so it shifts loads onto the prime movers, and your stabilizer muscles start to atrophy. So any movement professional who's good can sort of watch you move, watch you walk, and figure out where your weaknesses are. And like if you broke your ankle when you were 17, as it was healing, you learned to walk a little different. You favored your right leg over your left leg. Those things add up over time, and you want to see if you can fix them ahead of time with a month or two of sort of rehabilitation before you get into the heavier weight vest stuff.